Round here, them guns get the last word.
The Tekken 8 developers hosted what I believe to be their 4th or 5th Tekken Talk of the year, and this time they had the Final Fantasy developers on the stream as well to talk to them. Here you have pictures of the two legendary developers, Harada and Yoshi P. These guys have a long history with one another, and this is what is the foundation as to them, one, putting Noctis into Tekken 7, but then reuniting and putting Clive into Tekken 8. In this video, I will try to summarize quickly as possible everything of note that was mentioned during the Tekken Talk. The first things that they mentioned, which I thought was pretty interesting, is that they did not get a trophy yet for winning Fighting Game of the Year at the Game Awards. The trophy that you see them holding in this picture is a trophy that basically is just a prop. They were giving that to everyone who walked up on stage, but then taking it back for the next award to give to the next person and then taking it back. So they're still waiting for their trophy, and they have no idea when they will get it, but they definitely should get one, especially if you think about the prices. If you wanted to show a 1-minute trailer, which the Tekken 8 developers did, you have to fork out $250,000. So their trophy is definitely earned, deserved, and needed. Now, a couple of details about the character Clive himself. What the developers said is that they made him buffer to be in line with all the other characters, because when they did like a side-by-side comparison, he was really scrawny. For those of you who remember how Noctis looked in Tekken 7, the guy was definitely scrawny. Now, even though they said they wanted him to look buffer like everyone else, I think the true reason behind it is that you can now customize Clive. And as we know, for all the male characters, they have the same body type, so it's very easy for the developers to put like one shirt in a game and for it to fit all the male characters. If they didn't make Clive body in line with all the other male characters, they would have to specify every customization for his body parts. And then also in terms of gameplay, they said that they made Clive's sword shorter than it is in Final Fantasy because they didn't want his reach to be too ridiculous. Now, they did say that his range in Tekken 8 is like mid-range and like far range, so you definitely want to stay up close to him so he basically doesn't outreach you. You can't hit him, but he can hit you, is the type of thing, right? So you're gonna want to get in, you're gonna want to keep your pressure. On that note, I wonder how there's going to balance his wall travel, because from the clips that I've seen, the guy can cover a lot of distance really fast, and I wonder, with having such long range, another character who comes to mind is Fakaram, and Fakaram had a lot of weird issues when it came to walls, hitting characters. So will we see something like that because of Clive's range being so long with his sword? They also talked a little bit about the character's height. This is something that prior to Tekken 8 was not officially revealed, but on the Tekken 8 main menu screen, you can see the character's height, nationality, name, karate style, all of that stuff. And for Clive, the Final Fantasy developers gave that information, and you can see he's 183 centimeters. For the Americans out there, that's 6 feet. Same height as Jin Kazama. Jin Kazama is a little bit heavier though. Now, one more thing about the character Clive, then we'll move on and talk about the rest of the game and also the update. The Final Fantasy developers, they said that they are okay with the character Clive being nerfed. If he is found to be too powerful in online or in tournaments, just way too effective, the Tekken 8 developers have to green light, they have the okay to go ahead and do what's necessary to make sure that the character is balanced. Definitely good news if you think about what happened with Tekken 7, Geese, and Akuma, and how those guys were thorns in our sides for the entire lifespan. Next up, they talked about the Jill and Joseph skin. You have it here for Lily for 500 Tekken coins. It comes with this avatar skin for Clive and a Tekken bomb. We'll talk about that in a second. But then for Leo, you have this thing you can wear on your back, and you have the red bomb. This is also 500 coins. Now, a little feature that I thought was pretty cool that they're adding to Tekken Ball is when you purchase the Tekken Ball Bomb King, the blue one, and also the red one, the balls have a different animation now. They have a special feature where they start to blink like kind of in this yellow highlight color, and then they'll randomly explode. And if you're under that large radius, it's a pretty big radius, but if you're under that, when it explodes, you take big damage. So it's just something else that they added to Tekken Ball to get players to go in there and just try to experience experience that new thing. So if you buy the skin, you might as well go into the game and try it out. Now, we talked about this just a second ago, but they really wanted to emphasize how much detail you can put into Clive this time around with customization. If you take a look at this website here that kind of archives everything Tekken related, you can see that Noctis really did not have that much customizations. If we were to compare him to Kazuya, you'll see that Kazuya has a lot more stuff that he was able to utilize. So in this time around, Clive will have access to everything. And there was a lot of discussion on the stream about it being a big deal for the developers of Final Fantasy because, you know, they're very protective over their characters' images. That's something we were talking about with Tifa in the other video. But they are, you know, doing their best to just like truly embrace what Tekken 8 is offering. They also said that they recorded the dialogue for Clive in only English. There is no Japanese. There was a little bit of discussion about having all of the characters speak Japanese in some kind of update, but they said that would be something that's too difficult to do, too time consuming. So they basically just let every character speak whatever language they do. But for Clive, they'll have them speak English. And also for Clive, it's the same voice actor who voices the character in Final Fantasy. Clive's voice actor, whose name is Ben Starr, shared this incredible picture to the story. This is him cosplaying as Tifa, celebrating Clive's introduction into Tekken 8. Now here's where they revealed 3 brand new changes for Tekken 8's new update that was not in the trailer that they showed at the Tekken World Tour Finals. The first thing is that you can finally watch the replay matches that has DLC characters in it that you do not own. This was something that players was very upset about for a very long time because we struggled to learn the matchup when we can't, you know, lab against the character in practice mode, and then we also couldn't even watch our own matches back to see what was punishable, sidesteppable, or whatever. But now they will allow people to have that option, but you still won't be able to take control of them. In the settings, they also added a feature where you can set your favorite practice characters. You know how when you go into practice online ranked, how you have to choose your characters and then choose a stage and then go into whatever you're trying to go into? Now you can go into settings and you can select all of that, and then when you just hit rank, player match, or whatever, it goes straight into like searching for an opponent. So you literally skip like a whole 30 seconds of selecting stuff over and over again. That's definitely a good feature. Now another thing that's also in here is the special style UI display. This can be activated and deactivated, but now in this update you will be able to hide either your activation or the opponent's activation. Some people troll with it during raid charts where they turn it off and on, and then some people, they don't even want to identify that they have it on, so they would like to hide when they're triggering it. In my opinion, I don't think that is a good change. I think you should definitely let people see when it's being turned on and off, because the moves you can do is so different. I would much rather something say that it's on. Maybe they add a health bar where like you have an S pop up like Street Fighter, how it has modern controls, but you know, this is what they're doing for now, and fair enough. For the patch notes, they confirmed that the patch notes will drop at pretty much the same time as the update goes live, and they do this in order to prevent misinformation or misinterpretations. They want you to have the patch notes the same time the update goes live so you can read what changed and you can practice it, and then you can see, you know, night and day. Because in the past you would have someone look at the patch notes, misunderstand what's going on, and then they, you know, that circles the internet for like, you know, however long till the update drops, and then people understand, right? So they want to cut out all of that and just have the patch notes at the same time. Now, of course, some people want the patch notes as soon as possible, but I think the way that they're doing it is definitely better, because also we have a concrete time on when the patch notes is happening. Here is a breakdown on each individual time. You guys can pause the video and look at when it's dropping in your region, but this is when the update goes live, and this is when you can expect the patch notes as well. Now, they also said before season 2 starts, which is basically in spring, they will do at least 2 updates. They said 2 updates, but at least they may do some more just in case something break or a patch here and there, but expect 2 updates after this one. Now for the Tekken World Tour 2025, details about that will be revealed later. They really didn't want to dive into that right now. They concluded the Tekken Talk with saying that this will be the last one of the year, and we can expect the next one in January, February, or March. The last thing that Harada was talking about is how difficult this year was for the development team himself personally, right? He said said 2024 was the most difficult year in all of his history, right? And that just speaks to how, one, complicated this game is, but two, I would even contribute it to all of the ups and downs, right? Tekken has grown so much from just a game that you sit at home and play or an arcade to play. This game is online. This game is collaborating with multiple different games. We have the Fortnite thing coming up. We have the Nike thing that just passed. We have the Chipotle thing that passed. We have Final Fantasy, which is now, right? Harada is doing a lot of different things. So it would definitely make sense that 2024 was a very difficult year for them. But with all of that pressure, we hope that this game will turn into a diamond and not burst like a pipe. As soon as we get the patch notes, I'll make a video, break it down, all of it. But right now, that is it.